Ahoy mateys! Thanks for tuning in to Pirates and TP's. Joshua Besnay here. I'm working on my 1944 Ford 2N tractor. If you saw, I think it was episode 4 of my Going Off Grid series, you'll see that I recently purchased this and had to get it running, and was explaining a little bit about how the electrical system that was in there is really bad. When I first got it, nothing really worked. Things were not hooked up properly at all. The battery wasn't charging from the alternator, even though the alternator worked. I replaced the charge controller and hooked that up correctly, so now the alternator is charging the battery. I hooked up the lights. Everything's working pretty good. One thing is there are no fuses in this thing at all. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to put in a fuse block, which is also a power distribution block, and then I'm going to hook obviously all of the peripherals up through that. So right now you'll see that there is a wire hooked up to the main hot, and this connector shoots out into like 4 or 5 different connections, which go to the different accessories and peripherals on the tractor. What I'm going to do is there is like a 4-aught cable going to the alternator that's going to go right past where I'm going to put this block. So I'm going to cut into that wire, add 2 connectors on it, join them at the block. So that's going to give me power in. That's going to connect my alternator back to the battery. And now I'm going to have a hot fuse block where I'm going to be able to now pull power off for all of my accessories. So let's go get started in that. And I'm also going to add this here voltmeter. There was an amp meter on there before. This is like an old school way of doing it, and for the amp meter to properly work, you actually have to run all of your power through the amp meter, and that's just, you know, ridiculous and old school. So the way we do it now is we just use a voltmeter and we check this, make sure that we have proper voltage of the battery to know if our battery is working or not. Okay, so let's go put that fuse block in there. We'll start out by taking out the battery, of course, and then we're going to pull this little rail that's in there. I'm going to replace it with a piece of plastic with the fuse block mounted to it, and then we'll wire up all the lights again, and I'm going to then order some switches and some new lights that we'll add in another video. You can see I don't have an incredibly big working area here. Guess I could probably take the hood off, but we'll see. If it gets too frustrating, I'll do that. But I think I can just get in here, because I'm pretty little and flexible. I think I'm just going to reach right in here, take this thing apart. Remember, always disconnect the negative first, because if you're playing with the positive and the wrench hits the chassis, you're going to have serious issues. And don't take my word for it, you can always learn the hard way like I did. But that was a long time. There's my fuse block / distribution panel. Gotta go pick up some fuses for that. Here's the old angle iron that was on there before that used to hold the old battery in, or whatever, and that's where the grounds came off. So that's what I'm going to use to mount my new piece of glass stick here. I've used this to determine where the hole needs to be drilled. I'm going to cut this down, and I'm going to mount my fuse block on top of it like that. Okay. The distribution fuse block mounted. You'll see here This is where it comes in from my alternator, connects to the main distribution here, and then this is going to go out and go directly to the battery. This is going to be my ground post here. I'll do these all the way, and then everything else is going to get connected into the fuse block soon. So I got to run to the hardware store or auto parts store and grab some parts, and then I'll be back and put this thing together. Cool. Hardware store mission was a success, or auto parts store. It was like $5 for a pack of 5 fuses, or $10 for this box. So of course I got the box. Anyway, so I'm gonna put these things on there, and then I'm about ready to start this tractor. And there we go. I got the 3 main things hooked up. I've got ignition, front lights, and the voltage regulator. So I've got, as you can see, way more space than I need, but I am going to add a flasher, possibly a flasher, rear lights, so that's 2 more fuses there, and then on the other row there's going to be the stereo output, as well as I'm going to have an input from a solar charge unit, so the batteries will stay charged, and I can use the accessory panel up top for charging phones and whatnot. So I'll have like a little portable charging, solar charging station on my tractor. Alright, battery is back in and connected. Now, haven't heard anything super sketchy like pops or anything, so that's good. It's a little tighter in here than I thought. Looks like the way I mounted that fuse box, I might need to move it closer to the steering wheel later. I don't know, we'll see. There might be enough room, it might work. And let's turn this thing on and see what happens. Okay, here we go, initial test run. Ignition switch. The ignition light came on. Voltmeter is showing voltage. That's really cool. Okay, lights on. Definitely looks like the dash is being illuminated. Hey, thanks so much for tuning in. Hope you enjoyed this video. If so, please take the time to hit that subscribe button. It really means a lot to me. And maybe even that like button. And please comment. I haven't been getting a lot of comments lately, and I love comments. I love responding. I love the friendships I've been building through comments. Hey Spencer, what's up, buddy? And yeah, it's what makes this so fun. All right, you guys, have a piratical day.